Hey again, I'm Joachim. Welcome to Balance Pilates. We're going to start with Pre-Pilates. You can treat this as an exercise method, a routine on its own to get you ready for going to a regular Pilates class, or you can treat it as a warm-up, as we tend to do in all of our classes. We have a similar kind of a Pre-Pilates routine at the start of every session. So we're going to start with the basics, making yourselves comfortable, sitting cross-legged if at all possible. If you need to, you can sit on a block to raise yourself. If you absolutely need to, of course you can have your legs straight out in front. But if you do have the legs out in front, try and be aware of what the legs are doing so that they're doing the same thing. In an ideal world, sit with your legs crossed, tall and upright. Now we're going to do some breathing. Progressive breathing, filling our lungs sideways, going from a count of 6 to 8 to 10. Both breathing in and breathing in. You can start by putting your hands onto your ribs, squeezing the air out of yourself. Empty your lungs, and then take a breath in where your hands are. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Keep going. In. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You want to fill the lungs completely and squeeze all of the air out of yourself. So you're completely empty. If we get rid of all the old stale air, then we can breathe new fresh air, fill the system with oxygen. Everything works much better. Now we're going to do some spinal movements, starting with forward flexion after arm reaches. Bring the hands to the shoulders and reach them up towards the ceiling, looking up at the hands. Breathe out as you reach up and out of your own hips here, and same on the other side. Turn the palms forwards, fold forwards at the waist and round the spine over, and slowly re-stack the spine to sit tall and upright. Again, shoulders, ceiling. 1, 2, 3, 4. Turn the palms forwards and fold forwards, tall and upright. One last time. Touch the shoulders, reach the ceiling, and reach, and reach, and reach, and reach. Fold forwards, and re-stack the spine there. Let's cross the legs the other way. Doesn't feel so comfortable, we need to sit the other way sometimes as well. And we're going to do rotations. Take one hand, hold on to the opposite knee, and the other hand, place it behind you, flat on the mat rather than up onto your fingers, because the fingers are a little bit vulnerable. Flat on the mat gives you more force and gives you more support. But it also depends on how long your body is and how short your arms are. You might not reach, but generally if you can put the hands quite close to you, push into the mat, pull on the knee, grow tall, twist and look over your back shoulder. Come back to the side. Same thing the other way. Hand onto the knee, other hand onto the floor, pull yourself around. It's really cool because the arms can get involved, so it's not just the waist rotation muscles, but also the armpit muscles, the arm muscles. Go tall as you come back and look behind you. One more time. And relax back there. Let's send the legs out in front. So they're reaching straight out in front of us. Hip distance is where the middle toe is in line with the knee, is in line with the hip joints. And you're sitting with the feet pulled back towards you. We will do lateral flexions. Plant a hand, bend the elbow as the other hand reaches up and over, and we're looking straight ahead. Come back tall, upright again. And let's go the other way. This top arm is not wrapping around the head, but it's trying to reach the ceiling the whole time. We're doing the classic rainbow of energy. So that rainbow arm, sending lightning bolts towards the ceiling every time. And we want to stop the feet from shifting. We want to stop the hips from shifting. So the hips stay still and stable into the mat, and the body is bending sideways over the top of that. Breathe out as you reach. Now we can play with bending the arm, keeping the shoulder away from the ears. Or we can keep the downward arm straight and try and pull ourselves up and over the top. It's much more difficult to make that happen. And let's go the other way. Whatever we do, bending or straightening, we don't want this shoulder to ride up. Keep it away from the body one way or another, away from the head, closer to the body one way or another, because otherwise we're creating neck and shoulder issues that we're trying to avoid in Pilates. And relax there. We're going to do extensions. I've turned sideways so that you can see what's going on with my spine. We sit tall and upright. From here, drift the hands behind you, place them back down and lift the chest towards the ceiling. Let's go tall and let's fold forward. Drift tall and upright. Drift away behind you. Lift the chest towards the ceiling. Tall again and fold forward. So it's a back bend, but it's not just the neck. It's more about the upper chest, upper spine. And the head just folds and fold. Now bring these legs out to slightly wider than shoulder width apart. And we'll do the leg and ankle circles. Roll the feet in, push them down, roll them out and up. In and down and out and up. In and down and out and up. In and down and change direction. Out and down and in and up. Out, down, in and up. Out, down, in and up. Out and down and in and up. From here, bring your feet and knees together. And we will point and flex the ankles. Pushing feet away and pulling feet back. Now I want you to be imagining that you are pushing a flat piece of wood away from you and pulling that piece of wood towards you. And it's a movement at the ankles. Pointing and flexing, pointing and flexing. This does often undress your heels so that your socks drift off. That's life. It's not the end of the world. What we're trying to avoid is pulling the big toes closer than the little toes, like we're holding an orange between our feet. Because if we engage through the outside of the foot a little bit more, if I do this here, you might see that there's more play going on in the outside calf muscles. That has an effect on the outside thigh muscles, pelvis, and torso, and helps with the posture generally. We're then going to stay at 90 degrees at the foot, and we're going to curl the toes over and pull back. So we're isolating just the toes. Toe isolations. Grab hold of the pencil with the toes and release it. Grab hold of a pencil and release. Now it's really tempting to kind of wrap the toes around the corner. We want to avoid that. It's not easy to have all toes doing the same thing at the same time. And relax there. Stay where you are, but we're going to do toe stretches. Spreading the toes apart and releasing. Spreading them apart and releasing. Spreading apart and release. Spreading the toes out and release. You'll notice that I can't move my toes in isolation. My fingers have to go, my eyebrows have to go, my eyes have to widen. Something else has to work in order for me to coax these toes from spreading apart. And it's not even by any means. Last one. And relax there. come a little bit sideways so you can see the edge of my feet. And we'll do arch contractions. So I want you to sit with your feet together, but I'm going to separate mine so you can see the two of them at the same time. And here, we're going to pull the front of the foot towards the back of the foot so that we are building bigger arches. We have 3 arches in the feet. One on the inside of the foot, one on the outside of the foot, and one across the front behind the toes. So we're building bigger arches all round, and you can see more space underneath both the inside and the outside arch. And you might feel more space underneath that transverse arch. It's like you're making a suction cup with your feet. Pulling the feet up and releasing. Now if this gives you cramp in the feet, which is common, it shows that the feet are not as pliable, functional, aware as they should be. So that's something we need to work on and do this a little bit more and relax. And now we're going to move to spine articulations into reclining. Sit at the edge of your mat with the arms out in front, tall and upright, legs are bent, feet are flat on the mat. And we tuck tailbone under and roll 1/3 of the way down. Take a breath in here and breathe out to restack the spine. Now if this starts to get heavy, you can climb down your thighs. Let's go 2/3 of the way down. This is just a transition, and then we climb back up again. We're moving from sitting tall and upright to lying down fully on the mat. Tuck tailbone under. This time look down towards your belly button, roll all the way down, and then send your legs away and flex the feet. Pull both legs in towards you and bring the feet knees together. We're going to do hip roll preparations. Open the hands out just a little bit, and let's roll the knees and the hips from side to side. This is a great test exercise to do before and after your class to see how things have changed. It doesn't matter that the knees shear past each other, and it doesn't matter that you're rolling onto the inside and the outside edge of the foot. What we want is a gentle, pleasant, pain-free movement in both directions. And ideally, at the end of the class, you should feel looser, you should be able to go further, and you should feel better from there. Let's roll over onto your side. And on your side, lay yourself up against the back of the mat so that your heels, your hips, and your shoulders are in line with the back of the mat. The hips are stacked, one on top of the other. The knees are stacked, one on top of the other. Ankles are stacked, one on top of the other. And the shoulders, okay, they're not stacked, but they're kind of in line if you look from above. So straight line from heels, hips, shoulders. You can have the head down, you can have a cushion in between, or you can have the head up. But we're going to do some clams here. The main thing to look out for is that we don't roll back the pelvis. So with the clam, we float the top knee away and back. Float it up and back again. Trying to lift as high as we can without leaning back at the shoulder or at the knee. Floating up and down, floating up and down, floating up and down, floating up and down, and relax back down there. Let's do some picnic shoulders where you come up onto your elbow. Elbow's directly below the shoulder and the hand is flat and pointing forwards as opposed to that way or that way. And we go for a slobby picnic and a graceful. Slobby picnic and graceful picnic. This just warms up the shoulder muscles and starts to get some mobility into that whole joint. Last one, and relax. Let's roll over onto our front. Place one hand on top of the other. And the shoulders are away from the ears. From here, we're going to do prone leg lifts. One leg floats up behind and back down. Other leg floats up behind and back down. And keep alternating the leg that you're lifting up. We're just going to do this basic alternating leg. And as you're lifting, the careful not to lift from the knee, but lift from the hip joint. So the whole leg is lifted. Now, I say whole leg, but my thighs don't lift off the floor. I've got too much thigh, it's still in contact with the floor, but it's light. What we don't want is an arching of the spine and a rolling of the pelvis, or a lifting of an elbow, hitching of the shoulders. Everything stays still and engaged. We could walk a row of hands underneath our belly button, because we're pulling the belly button towards the spine to control things a little bit, and squeezing with the buttock, trying to touch the wall behind us. Breathe in to come down, breathe out to lift. In to come down, and out to lift. Last one, and relax there. Let's do a baby swan. From here, bring the hands next to the shoulders, but keep the elbows down. That's what denotes the baby version of the swan. Forehead is straight down, and we push a marble away with the nose, and look towards the front of the neck. Breathe in to go up, and breathe out to come down. In to go up, and out to come down. In to go a little bit higher, and out to come down, but only as high as the elbows are still on the mat. So if you feel that the elbows are coming off, that's fine. You've got more range. We're going to get to that later on. Remember that the Pre-Pilates is just a warm. Last one, and relax back. Push back into the rest position. And from here, we'll do the side lying Pre-Pilates on the other side. Lining the heels up, the hips and the shoulders. Ankles, knees, hips, shoulders are stacked. Top shoulders away from the ears. And breathe out to float that top knee away. Breathe in to come down, breathe out to float up. Keep the hips stacked. Try and avoid leaning back. And then you should feel that there is a gentle engagement of the rotator muscles in the buttocks. We're doing a lot of buttock work in Pilates. We're just warming things up and making the joints and muscles aware of what's coming. Come up to your elbow. Hand is down, elbow directly below the shoulder, shoulder away from the ears, hang down, press away from picnic shoulder, hang down, press away, hang down, press away. Sloppy picnic, graceful. From here, we're going to move into a 4-point kneeling quadruped position. The quadruped is more difficult than it seems, because the hands want to be directly below the shoulders, and we want to have straight arms, but not hyperextended arms. So if you are known to have hyperextending joints, then soften the elbows a little bit. My arms don't straighten, so I need to have my arms as straight as I can, but they're still quite bent. Knees are directly below the hips. The problem then with the hands below the shoulders is that the shoulders need to be pushing the body towards the ceiling, but also pulling towards the waist. So most people stand in a 4-point kneeling position somewhere like this. Shoulders are too high and the body is slumped. We therefore want to pull the hands back, pull the shoulders back, straighten the arms, and protract with the shoulders. So it's quite an active place. The spine is to start neutral. This is a rounded back. This is an extended back. This is a heavy let go abdominal. We want to let the abdominals work a little bit against gravity. Shoulders are working, armpit muscles are working, all the hands are working, fingers are spread, evenly taking the weight, possibly a little bit more weight to the little finger, the outside edge of the hand. From here, we're going to do a kitten, which is simply a baby cat. I'll show you the cat and then I'll come back. Cat stretch, reaches all the way up towards the ceiling and drops the head. Then we flatten back down again. That is not what we're doing here. The kitten is a baby cat, where we tuck the tailbone under and send it out. Tuck the tailbone under and send it out. It is a pelvic tilt. That is all it is. It doesn't go beyond the ribs. is just the abdominal muscles pulling pubic bone towards you, tucking the tailbone between the legs, and then sending it up here. It should feel quite abdominal. And relax there. We're now going to do the fish stretch, where we look over our shoulder, back to center, look over the other shoulder, back to center. What are we looking for? Our fish's tail. So stick your bum out in the same direction. Now there are lots of ways for this to go wrong. You can move too much upper body and look around the corner. You can move too much bum and not enough shoulder. You can counter stretch so that you're actually looking in the right direction but your body is leaning away in the other direction. Or we can try and keep the center of gravity still. So the center of gravity is behind your belly button. And we're wrapping around that fixed point of the belly button. Your bum and shoulders are going evenly to the two sides. Do an even number on both sides. Back to the center. Sit back into a rest position. And that is pretty much our pre-Pilates. Our warm-up for every class, but also a routine that we can do building us up to starting our Pilates program. It's the first video that you get, so take your time watching this. The third video that you get this week, we're just going to run through the pre-Pilates as part of the workout. Have fun, gang.